Okay.
Hello and welcome to everyone. This is Nikhil Sablania from New Delhi. Today is 10th of April 2025. I have with me Mr. Amrit Lal Rawal ji, a professor, a retired professor in English from Delhi University, a journalist, a publisher, an author, and researcher on the partition of India. Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Today we are going to discuss about the Ukraine issue. So here is my first question with you. When the whole conflict of Russia and Ukraine started, the Ukraine government came to the Indian government and they gave a reference from the Gita and they seek their help, considering as the big brother. So what role do you think India has played so far and how India is going to play in this conflict which would lead to a further new restructuring of the world? So do you see India going to help Ukraine? That's my first question from you. Please, sir.
I think I'm thankful to you for inviting me to speak on your channel. It's a very popular channel. So I think that, as you said, that Ukraine came and said that India should help, citing the example of Gita. The thing is that this was not correct on the part of Ukraine to ask India to help against Russia, because Russia has always been, or USSR has always been our friend during times of trouble, right from the beginning. Even during freedom struggle, the then Soviet government, asked people to participate, with bombs and other things, but peaceful non-cooperation movement was going on in India at that time. So therefore, we did not listen to their advice. But ever since India got freedom, Russia has always been USSR has always been our friend in need. Therefore, India should not, fight uh, for Ukraine against Russia. This is the reason why I said that Indian soldiers also should not participate in the war against Russia, because they will be betraying the Indian tradition of standing with the friend. So it's a very serious problem, and the whole thing has been started by the sweet talk of Clinton and all those people. They sweet talked Ukraine into surrendering
Does
its arms.
does that make us a communist country? If we are going with Russia,
No,
are we a communist?
no, we are not a communist country, but we are, as you said, that we have to be true to our friend, the friend who stood by us in all difficult circumstances. Nixon had sent his seventh fleet to the Indian Ocean, and but the Soviet, the submarine was already here in Bay of Bengal, and the Soviet submarine was also, came up to the water level so that they could see the flag of the Soviet Union, and in this way they deterred the Seventh Fleet from entering into a conflict at the time of war with Pakistan, when Bangladesh was created. So these are very
But
difficult times,
there is also
and
one
we
thing
should
which,
not forget.
of course, Soviet has been useful to us. He has been our friend. But can we say that uh, Ukraine is not our friend? I mean, but we also have friendship with Ukraine also and America also. In America, we constitute from Indian origin. We constitute 1% of the population of USA. Many of our people are working in USA and in the tech companies, and like we are getting access to the new genesis of the new knowledge that's taking place in USA. But of course, Russians help us, but they don't include us into their programs. and but Americans include us in their programs. Our students have been studying at the universities in Ukraine. So don't you think that uh, we should also think about helping Ukraine, and that would make USA also
You
help.
see, we can see, so far as studies by students in Ukraine are concerned, I want to inform you that the medical studies in Ukraine and other countries, they are not so high standard, because they have to come to India and pass another test to prove that they are good doctors, or that they are well read and well educated. So I mean, these things are separate. We can also help the Ukrainian students in our universities, and they do come also. And the thing is that Ukraine has not been our friend. Ukraine surrendered its arms. That was a big mistake. And then it also lodged a complaint against India in the United Nations that India should also destroy its weapons. But it did not lodge a complaint against Pakistan or China. So China and Pakistan, they too have weapons, and more weapons than India has. Therefore, it was not correct on the part of Ukraine to come to India and cite the example of Bhagavad Gita and say that this teaches we have to stand with our friend, and that is the only thing. The thing is that in 19 that during the war, Caribbean submarine crisis, a submarine of USSR was stationed in Cuba. In Cuba, so as soon as the United States came to know, they were rattled. So they protested. It was a big, issue in the whole world, and therefore, under pressure, USSR had to withdraw its nuclear submarine. So if USA does not want a, if USA does not want even a single submarine at its door, then how can Russia allow the NATO forces at its borders? This is a problem. Ukraine should have remained a buffer state.
I mean, looking at the world which is changing, the technological changes which are taking place, and world is going to the electric rather than on fuel, on the conventional fuels like petroleum and diesel. So if we need to go into the new world, I mean, so the source of energy is the rare earth metals, and they are there in the Ukraine. Then what do you think? Don't you think we should also take care of that interest of our interest, like the rare earth metals which are in the Ukraine, because Russia is also somewhere also after those metals, rare earth elements, other metals, and America also need them, and even Ukraine is protecting them. So the whole epicenter is not actually, it's not actually Ukraine, but that area of the Ukraine which is having those rare earth metals.
See, so far as rare earths are concerned, then Ukraine has a right to protect its precious earth or rare earth, and no other country has any right to attack or bulldoze Ukraine into surrendering its rare earths. For example, Trump, was saying that you give us your rare earths and things like that on 28th of February. That has turned the
Whole
entire
issue, the
scenario.
issue
It
is
has changed the entire
diplomatic.
scenario. No, rare earths. Actually, India too has rare earths, and therefore we should protect our rare earths. As soon as some rare earths were found in Jammu and Kashmir, the ambassador of USA, a diplomat, went to Jammu and Kashmir and met Abdullah Omar Abdullah, who is the chief minister. So they are looking for rare earths everywhere in the world. But the thing is that why should they try to steal, or why should they try to bulldoze anyone into giving its rare earths? I mean, this is not done, I mean, one has to be principled. If there are no principles, then there can be no peace. No peace without justice, as Dr. Ambedkar said.
How this will impact the India's relationship with USA and its allies and with Europe, because Europe is also scared of Russia's aggression.
You are very right. When the 30 commissioners of Europe came to India, and the head of the parliament also, European Parliament also came, it was clear that they had come to seek the help of India to give supply soldiers. 100 years ago, India supplied 20 lakh soldiers to England, and they fought there, they sacrificed their lives, but they were not given the promises, which for which they had, which were made to them. So, as I told you earlier, also that in my book War Literature, I have said that Lord Curzon said in 1920 in Delhi itself that if you participate in the war, then we shall give you this, if we shall give you this and that. A long list was there. But when they came back with their heads torn off, with their hands torn off, or their legs missing, or their eyesight missing, and their skin burnt, they were not given. Their petitions were not, accepted. So they felt very lost. So we should not forget the plight of our own soldiers
If you look at
100 years ago.
that you have already told me, and all.
Now, what was the result? After the war, Indians were asked to, crawl on their feet, on their hands and feet, whenever they saw a British or a white man. Rowlatt Act was imposed immediately after that. So again, there was a war after that. Again, Indian soldiers went.
even if even if Russia was stronger at that time, it didn't come to our help directly in the post-independence era. Now, my question is like, in this changing world, we got independence, but we can see that independence is never actually an independent state. I mean, you can never become a sovereign. You have to join some other power of the world, either America, USA, or Russia, or the earlier USSR. Our economic
That is
policies are very similar to which are changing as per on the lines of USA's economic policies. We have changed our economic policies. Even in Russia, we have seen there is a lot of change in economic policies, but somewhere people have a fear of the oligarchs, the capitalists in Russia. They have the fear that if we will not go as per Mr. Putin, we would be sent to jail. Now, this is the difference between USA and Russia, that Russia is, though not a communist country now, but it is strongly following the principles of communism. But when we say that we are friends of Russia and we are taking that help from Russia, where does that help is going to? That is going to some oligarchs, some industrialists in India to capture the whole of the wealth of India. So if we are saying we are friend with Russia, are we on the principles of economic, on the equalitarian distribution? When we are going to implement that in our country, are because what we are doing in our country, we are giving a slogan of patriotism on the one side. We are pushing that patriotism with religious patriotism, dharmic rashtravad. Then we are saying okay, we will go with Russia because it has helped us. But all these factors are contributing to the growth of only few capitalists in India. 100 crore of our population are, now we can say, if we will not consider the government's criteria of below poverty line, but actually 100 crore, that is 1 billion people in India are under poverty line if we look at that standard with the standard of other countries, other developed countries, in terms of the number of millionaires and billionaires are in those countries in terms of dollars. And we have more millionaires and billionaires than those countries. But we have our majority of the people as per that standard. I mean, our rich are of the standard of rich in those countries, but our poor are not considered as poor of those countries. This dualism of our country, and then we say, okay, we will go with Russia, but the same, there are two types of classes. One is the top oligarchs, industrialists, capitalists, politicians, and the second class, that is the higher middle class, which are attached to them. They send their children to America. So this whole message we will, so message is, we will send our children to the American universities, to European universities. We will do whole business of India. We will accumulate all the capital of India and leave 1 billion people away from that capital, and now we are friend with Russia. So why we are, why is there this dualism? Don't you think we should address this dualism within our limits, within our nation?
Actually, the thing is that if people go to USA, I was always against going to USA and other countries for even for studies. So if they go, then I mean it is for the government to take action. They study here in India and then go. They go for training at government expense and then resign. They settle themselves and their children also, and they then they boast that all their children and grandchildren are American citizens and they are well settled there. But now Trump has taken action against all those who have been there. Actually, Trump has a right to protect the interests of his country, whether they are trade, commercial interests, or other interests. For example, there is a lot of hullabaloo about the tariff. Actually, if Trump is charging what we charge them, then there is nothing wrong in it. Why should we ask Trump not to, charge what we are charging them? I mean, this is quite fair on his part. But we are, we and in fact the whole world is shouting at him. But I think that Trump is right in
No, sir, I'm not talking
protecting the
about. No,
interests of his
I'm
country.
not. I did not ask you about Trump's policy. I asked you about the policy of India. What about the policies of India? The question is, in India, we are saying we will go with Russia, but the people who are saying, that is the political lobby and the capitalists, they are sending their children to, I mean, they are getting benefits. They are sending children to USA. They are getting benefits from USA also. They are getting benefits because they are in the government. They control the resources and means. Like our, if we will start the power, nuclear electricity, if we use, the help will come from Russia. We will though invest, but later on that plant would be given to some industrialist over here. So at the one hand, and we cheating. I'm talking about our own policies of our own policy makers. Aren't they cheating when they are saying we are with Russia, but actually they are taking a lot of more benefits from, like, going to the universities in Ukraine, going to Europe, going to America, joining there, working in the companies like Google, Spotify, Facebook, Meta, and many other companies in Microsoft. But at the same time, we are saying we are with Russia. So why India is not on a proper path? Why they are taking? Are they? My question is, whom they are cheating? Are they cheating Russia? Are they cheating Ukraine? Are they cheating America? Or are they cheating their own 1 billion people?
Actually, they are they are cheating India. They are cheating their own country because you study here, you join a government job here, you go undergo training here, you go to a foreign country at government expense, and there you during your training you fix your home and buy home, and then after some time you come back and resign and then go back to USA. This has been happening for the last 70 years. I know many people who have done so, and now they boast that all their children and grandchildren are settled there. This is the cheating with India. Now, so far as the policies, the official policies of the government of India is concerned, the government should, take some action against those who take the benefits of this society and serve another society.
That is okay. That is like those who are going abroad and taking benefit from India also. But what about our policy? I mean, that is from where we started. Where is our policy like
our pol-
with America?
our policy has
Why there is this duality? I mean, government knows how many people are going. 615 people every day. They are leaving Indian citizenship. They are not like poor people of India. They are not among the 1 billion people of India. Of course, they are rich people, and rich people, you don't become rich in any country, not only in India, in any country, without having some affiliation with the people who are in the power of that country. So these are the people who are politically very well connected people. They have their cousins, they have their family members, relatives of relatives somewhere in the some portion of the government or connected to some political party. That's how people become rich all over the world. It's not only in India. But then, because if we are siding with Ukraine, we will have access to the future technology. We will have access for the fuel of the future technology. But in reality, what would happen? These same people, these same people who are called as Indian, they will go later on to Ukraine, take that benefit, and then they will make money. But now we are not taking, we are not, I mean, we are saying, okay, we are not going with Ukraine.
no, we cannot go to Ukraine because the thing is that Ukraine was against us. Ukraine tried to, block us. The Ukraine tried to say that India should destroy its weapons. How can India destroy its weapons? I mean, if you want a nuclear a ban on nuclear proliferation, then it should be a complete ban on all the countries. You can't allow China to have more weapons and then India should have no weapons at all, or you don't allow India to have weapons and you allow Pakistan to have weapons. We have to be on our guard. That is what I mean. Actually, we worship our weapons for this very reason. That it is only with the help of weapons that we defend ourselves. If you give away your weapons, then it means you don't want to defend your country. You don't want to defend your people, and this is exactly what is happening now. Ukraine was, fooled into signing that treaty that we shall come and we shall support you. But now, on the 28th of February, Trump, he blasted the president of Ukraine, Mr. Zelensky. If you have signed an agreement that we shall stand by you, we shall protect you, then you stand by it.
So that is part of the history. That has happened, and that unfortunate thing has happened with Ukraine. We know that Ukraine shouldn't have disarmed from the nuclear.
Yes, 1900 nukes, not a small thing.
But what about the future of India? I'm talking about the from the point of view of the 1 billion people who need to have access to these new technologies. I mean, we are recently like one of our ministers said that the tech companies are making poor people porters. So that is what that's my question about. Forget about what USSR has done to us or what America has done to us. What about these 1 billion people? Where would they go in the future when we don't have access to these like rare earths and the new world which is changing through the USA, because USA has the technology now.
No, USA has the technology, but we have also the right and the chance, to develop our own technology. We have lived through thousands of years, not with the help of the technology of USA or any other country. We have lived on our own terms. No doubt we lived in dark ages and under very difficult situations, but we have overcome all those difficulties and difficult times, dark times. So we have now to develop our own technology and establish our own powerhouses of industry and electricity and other things. That is the only way in which we can stand. And the population of India is the most. I mean, India is the most populous country, and therefore India has a great role to play. But the only thing which we can do is that they should stop the war. If Russia listens to us, then we will only. Mr. Modi has always said that this is the time for development and not for war. But
So
who listens? That is the thing.
Mr. Putin has already bribed Mr. Modi. I mean, not bribed in terms of legal, but illegal terms, but a legal bribe that sell the oil and make the money. And Mr. Modi's allies, the companies, partner companies, and other capitalists, they are selling the oil. Indians are not getting anything. I mean, we don't need oil actually. That we don't understand. We need future, and the future is rare earth and the technologies. Technologies. USA is having technology. Ukraine is having rare earth. That we need. We don't need oil and dollars actually. That we do. We are not understanding that. Don't you think so?
No, oil actually, we do need oil because oil and gas, they are needed by Europe also. So when this war started, Europe went against Russia. So Russia started selling oil to us. So I don't think there is anything wrong in it. We are buying oil as it is, given
Who
on
are benefited from that?
rupee payment.
Who is the real beneficiary of that oil? Are the hundred
No, the real
people are the real?
beneficiary beneficiary is India. I mean, I don't know if there is any other, as you said, bribe. I don't think it can
No,
be called a bribe, but
my
yes.
meaning of my sense of bribe is a legal bribe. I said legal bribe. I mean, legal bribe is
Okay,
that
okay.
he has given approval to sell the oil, but actually it's, see, even if we get dollars, what my question is, the future is not the those dollars. See, we are selling the dollars. Mr. Modi has twice sold the dollars to keep the price of the rupee at a higher level. So dollar is not the problem, but that dollar is going somewhere else. It's not going to our own coffin. What we say, coffers. What's the word? It's not going to our own.
Copper.
Yeah, coffers.
Copper, sir.
Yeah.
No, actually, the thing is that if we are offered oil at a cheaper rate, then there is no harm in buying it on rupee payment. That was rupee payment, which on which we had to buy. So it's a great facility which was given to us by Russia, and I don't think it should be viewed in any other way. They are trying to strike friends. In fact, they have been our friends. Russia has been our friend through ages. So at this critical
But if
time,
we keep saying Russia is our friend, Russia is our friend, what message White House would get from this?
actually, White House is not interested in any message from me or from anyone else. Mr. Trump is
India.
receiving messages and accepting.
I mean, that is the message India is giving. It's not my or your single voice, but this is the message actually which is India is giving. We are with Russia. Russia helped us. It's my also personal belief. But then question is, because if we are aligning with them, then USA will take us as a communist country. Then we are a communist country.
No,
We
we
have,
are not a communist country. The thing is that Sheikh Hasina was removed only because she refused to give an island to USA. And USA wanted that island to station its troops and its aeroplanes there. What right does the USA to come to our foothold in near the borders of Tripura? I mean, they are including everywhere. They have more than 700 bases throughout the world, and they are actually they want war everywhere.
Would there be
War
repercussions?
is there.
Would there be more repercussions from USA against India apart from these tariffs, apart from the people sent in shackles?
Actually, these tariffs are harming the American people more than they
But
are
do you think
harming India.
that is correct? But do you think that we are going to face more repercussions from Europe and America?
If there are repercussions, then we'll see if there are more tariffs and more problems created by them. Then we'll see. We are capable of looking after ourselves.
Thank you very much, sir, for this
Thank you.
talk, and we will talk about on some other matter in later interview with you. In
Okay.
the talk, those who wanted to read books written by Mr. A. L. Rawalji can go to website nspmart.com, or you can call on 852 7533051, 852 7533051, and 8851188170. We have books, various books on the history of Congress, on war literature, on RSS, on by Dr. Ambedkar ji, on Buddhism in India. All of these books, some are on some freedom struggle of India, Indian freedom struggle movement. So all these books are published by Mr. A. L. Rawalji. Some of them are written by Mr. A. L. Rawalji, and there's a book on Dr. Ambedkar. Its name is Blue Book of Dr. Ambedkar. Now, why it is called Blue Book? Some people might consider it by the color, but I don't know. I never talked to you about that book, but I think, sir, that book is
Ah,
Blue Book in England is called as the official book. Actually, have you given that name
okay.
by that, or
No,
color of the book?
no. Actually, if Mao can write a red book, if Gaddafi can write a green book, then
Okay.
why can't there be a blue book also of
Blue book.
Dr. Ambedkar? Dr. Ambedkar liked blue color, and Manevar Kashiramji also liked blue color.
Okay.
So that's why I named it as blue color, blue
I
book.
just thought, because I was while translating some work of Karl Marx, I came to know that blue books were the actually official records. So I thought it's like a official.
Okay,
Okay. Anyway,
okay.
so thank you, sir, for coming, and thank you to all the audiences who are watching this show. I'm sorry for this interruption, but that is how we have to work in the very meager resources and money that we have. If you want us to improve,
Yes, okay.
donations in some few thousands or few lakhs, because these these tools are quite expensive. But everyone who is watching over there, you should understand that content is important. If you find our content
Yes,
important, then please share it.
yes,
Quality doesn't matter much actually. Even with quality, there could
okay.
be not so good content, I would say. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.